Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jack, and I'm here to tell you a story. Now, let me say this before I get started all the way. Um, I've had this concept on my mind for a long time. I am a writer more than any other of the creative outlets I pursue. Like, I'm a guitar player. Uh, um, I'm sometimes a photographer, sometimes a just do things person. But I've always, throughout the years, circled back to writing fictitious stories. To me, it's a good way to get my thoughts out, and honestly, they're pretty good. I think. I don't know. You tell me. Tonight's story, um, and the first of the series, is pretty big, pretty exciting. I'm gonna tell you right out, it is not for the faint of heart. It touches on themes of death, suicide, um, life in a weird way. Um, but if any of that bothers you, please don't go much further. All right. Now, I will promise you, this is not going to be the last video, and not every video is going to be dark. Um, Life in general isn't all the way dark, so why should stories be? And the more I thought about this, the more I really fell in love with character more than anything else. And it might not be all um, for him. So we'll see. Bear with me. I don't know how to edit, so we'll just see what happens here. All right. Bear in mind too that at least this one I was kind of excited about. So this is a very rough draft. The story is called The Skeleton Man. It was Halloween. He hated Halloween. Which is ironic because it was the one day he might fit in. His feelings aside, he decided it was time to get up. He rattled himself out of bed, which was only slightly bigger than him. He went to the mirror, where he looked at the hollow sockets his eyes used to shine. He started to brush his teeth, then looking at his skull and the space below his ribs where his stomach once was, he decided he might as well brush the rest of him. It was Halloween. He hated Halloween, but he felt like he might as well enjoy and embrace fitting in one day. He glanced over at his coffee pot in front of the rain-covered window. It sat in striking contrast to the gray outside, covered in cobwebs. He missed his morning cups of coffee. He remembered how he used to listen to music from a bygone era, how he smiled as he embraced the new day sun. He no longer smiles. He can't. He no longer cares for the sun's warmth. All bone, you see. He put on his regular shirt, tie, dress pants, rolled up his sleeves, and stepped out his door. He lived in a big city, so of course locals knew him. They never asked him his name, which was fine because he couldn't remember it. They referred to him only as Bones, Sticks, or the one he hated most, Skeleton Man. He got all three on the way to the bus stop that day, Halloweeny side. As the bus made its way from his small borough to the hustle and bustle of downtown, he he couldn't help but notice the decorations all over town. Witches, werewolves, Frankensteins, and yes, of course, giant skeletons. As if the world was mocking him. As the bus hit the big downtown, he saw people hustling and bustling. A laugh, a smile. Adults dressed up as their heroes. The whole town beaming with life. He missed being alive. He pined for death, sweet relief. He, in a word, was stuck in between realities. And he just wanted to go home, wherever that was. Now, this part of downtown passed the water in a very tall bridge. He paused his thoughts and always just stared. He could not cry or shudder, as most of his human emotions left when he died. When all you are is moving bone, your expressions leave you. He saw the bridge every day, and he felt the pain every time. The bus rolled past onto more giant buildings. His train of thought shifted, as the river did as they passed by. He thought of the idea of life after death. He didn't understand what cursed him to remain here, but after all, his skin fell off, as well as all his organs. He decided to make the most of it. You see, when you die, you officially have nothing left to lose. All of those things that once held you back no longer matter. He made something of himself the day he died. He became a chef at a high-end restaurant downtown. You'll have to be patient with me. My handwriting is total garbage. He made big decisions and created dishes that he was told were the best in town. Some would even say a challenge for the best in worldwide. Today, however, there were call-offs. What would you expect? It was Halloween. He hated Halloween. He got off the bus at his work, a gloomy-looking building with neon lights. It was called Oniric, a fancy word for dreamlike. He walked in through the front door. It was empty. The owner sat at the bar while the rest of the staff rushed around getting ready to open. It was a dim room full of dark brown tables and black booths. A few small circular tables scattered throughout. All served over a floor of an almost black stained wood. He eyed the owner, and it appeared he was done with his morning tasks. He sat, leaned back at the bar, smoking a cigar. He saw him and exclaimed, "Bones, my boy!" The owner was lucky he didn't have a face to make a look. He just stared. "Talkative as always, I see," he laughed. The owner looked at his watch and sneered. "Get to work." He glanced at the clock on the wall and dashed off to the kitchen. Glancing back one more time at the owner, fat, bald, but he didn't care what anyone thought, just laughing, overlooking his empire. He hated the owner, but had respect for the man. He went out and took what was his. He had a big enough heart to employ a dead man, ignorant of his gifts. His heart, as well as his risk, paid off in the end. The kitchen was pretty standard: stainless steel tables, an oven, flat top, served all over a tile floor. The only one that was made it in was Dave. Dave stood silently, barely containing a smile under his mustache. He held in his hands a Sharpie. Both of them knew what was next. Next thing he knew, he had "Happy Halloween, you bum" scribbled all over his head. He hated Halloween. He shoved Dave off of him, changed his clothes to his chef coat and hat, and they got to work. A good portion of the menu was prepped on account of the chef chef's foresight, but he somehow forgot to cut and cook the onions. It was 10 minutes to open, and the restaurant was known for this. It was what the chef used to really enhance everything. He nodded at Dave in agreement. Dave would handle everything else while the chef worked on these onions. It was a sight to see. White onion shavings flying everywhere while being cut. The skeleton getting covered, he didn't care. He put them on the grill, seasoning them to perfection, watching them cook to perfection. Dave stood back in amazement. He went and wet a cloth and wiped off what he had written on the chef's head. This set the tone for the rest of the day. Order after order, they went. Dave was there, but he really didn't need to be. The chef was fast like the reckless, and precise like the obsessed. It was the busiest day of the year so far. After the lunch rush, the chef stepped outside for a smoke. People watched as it went through his teeth, out through the bottom of his jaw. They laughed. Had they understood, they wouldn't have. The chef needed this. Nicotine had no effect on him anymore, but it was something that wouldn't die from another era. He went back in the orders. He went back in. Orders got more complex during the dinner hours. Dave was in a sweat. The chef remained unchanged, performing all the tasks in perfect order like a machine. At last it died down. It was time to clean up, and it was done. The chef changed back into his clothes and walked out. The day was done. He stood waiting for his bus. The owner walked out, stood beside him, and said, "Chef, I'm sorry." The skeleton paused a minute and then asked, "For what?" The owner responded, "It's Halloween night, and I know what happened to you. No one deserves to go out like that, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry." The chef collected his thoughts, and after a long pause, he said, "Thank you. That means a lot. But life goes on, apparently for me, whether I want it to or not. I'll see you tomorrow," he said as his bus pulled up. They came upon the bridge. This time he got off at that stop. He got out and he stood by the railing overlooking the water. He wondered why he was still there. Looking out as the waters flickered in the moonlight, he lit up another smoke. As he ruminated on 2 years ago, how alone he felt, like his mind was poisoned. He still can't escape those feelings. He sighed as he remembered how it felt like the only thing he could do to quiet his mind. But his mind never quieted, just his heart. He remembered as it stopped beating. He remembered laying there at the bottom of the river, waiting for sleep that would never come. He remembered waking up and walking home. Worse for wear, skin and flesh falling off. Watching the kids trick-or-treating. No one seemed to notice his condition. They all thought it was just a really good costume. Tonight, similarly, he walked home. No one noticed him. The one day he fit in. He hated Halloween. So there you have it. Stay tuned. There'll be more.